Yes, still. You forgot 33 seconds ago when you made me start reading. Also having us read about Superman losing his first battle instead of showing us. Dogs. Dog people think your pups are so cute, but they're mindless fluff invaders. A cat would never. A cat would hear that whistle and then just ignore you and let you die in the snow, as it should be. Insinuating that Rocket Raccoon fathered Superman.
The message was damaged in transit from Krypton to Earth.
I'm telling you this now as Superman lies badly injured because it's clearly important information for you, 12, not for an unseen audience that I'm setting up for a convenient twist later.
Damage to bladder, kidney, large intestine, lungs.
Partying in your 20s but waking up in your 40s. As I see all this pure, unfiltered sunlight zap supers, I'm thinking about skin cancer. I'm sure Superman is immune, but I'm kind of curious why he's never agreed to some testing to see if somewhere in his body he might hold the antidote to curing the disease. Why so selfish, Superman?
Sir, you are only 83% restored to health. You must rest.
No can do, 4. I gotta get back to the fray.
Putting your surprise role in reviving a 2000s alt-rock band ahead of your own well-being. Tongue selfies.
It's been studying him for years.
He's developed over 2,500 fight moves for any situation.
Thank you, clunky exposition henchies. We appreciate your waiting to have this insightful conversation until the middle of the fight, using a system that you've all presumably had to train for already. Also, Lex defeats Superman like he's using discount video game cheat codes, and not the cool cheat codes like in Contra. Up, down, left, right, BA, select, start that motherfucker.
Malik Ali. A local.
But his driver's license says Delaware. So remind me again, what city in non-existent Delaware we are in right now?
I don't know how in the hell this thing hasn't been spotted.
Me either, considering how long it's been since Soups left and it's just now entering the refractory period.
You saved us so many times. Now it's our turn.
Is Malik insinuating that helping Superman to a standing position is saving him? I appreciate the sentiment and all, but maybe slow your roll on being Superman's savior when a stable nearby pole could have accomplished the same task. This terrible spiral. All right, Green Bay colors. I see what you're doing.
Me and Pa just wanted to call and say congratulations on that front page.
Old people can't use technology correctly, even though they are literally just using it as a phone, which is a type of communication that's existed their whole life cliché.
Chitlins or intestines?
Scene contains a Cat Grant, but does not contain a Callista Flockhart.
What you're looking at, my friends, is the most powerful being on planet Earth.
Not pictured, Taylor Swift.
So we're gonna lock up all metahumans now.
Throwing away everyone else's toys from the previous movies, but flagging your own for the keep pile. Closing briefcase, locking briefcase, unlocking door. Excitement? Oh no, someone's in my house, the tension is real, I better grab a bat. Oh right, I'm in a movie, it's probably someone I love, and this is all false tension. Woo!
If you keep interviewing yourself, eventually people are gonna figure it out.
But the glasses.
Hanging a lantern on the fact that everyone should know who he is when history tells us that humans can ignore just about anything to fit their narratives. It's okay, the glasses work, just go with it and quit winking at us.
Let's do it, Cronkite.
Mrs. Cronkite's response after Walter hits her with the "that's the way it is" in the bedroom somehow makes it into the script.
After I stopped the war, I went to see Gurkos.
Where?
In the capital of Luchabik at the Royal Palace.
And this is so much more interesting to hear about than actually see. Good call, movie.
And I placed him against a cactus.
A cactus. So, torture.
Lois will make a whole lot of good points here about Superman unilaterally deciding to physically intervene in conflicts, when the movie will decide to never wrestle with it again, because good guy's good, bad guy's bad.
You think this is going well?
I think I'm doing a good job.
Marriage.
People were going to die!
David Corenswet is perfect as Superman, and this movie gets the character better than we've seen in quite a while. Excuse me, while I fly around the Earth in reverse for a bit to subtract a sin.
You've gotten a lot of heat on social media lately.
I don't read that stuff. Superman doesn't have time for selfies.
Thinking that taking selfies and keeping up with social media are one and the same.
Maybe sometimes people catch you reading it and looking very upset.
Okay, well, you can't use that.
These two are great, but the fact that they are actually recording this exercise is dangerous and irresponsible, and Lois should know better, considering everything about it screams that they are in a relationship and is a conflict of interest.
Hashtag super spy, hashtag super
Super Come on, Lois, you know that one specifically irritates me.
Clark gets pissed off here about the super hashtag, but honestly, that could be a positive hashtag, like Superman is the shit. So who's being judgmental and opinionated now, Clark?
But how are we going to gain access?
Know ye of little faith.
Engineer accepts this non-answer and doesn't ask again because the movie wants to hold on to its Superman clone secret for a little bit longer.
Superman, I preemptively put up this soothing...
Good thing for Lex that 4 always puts up the parents' recording whenever he thinks Superman has arrived. This is something Lex would have had no way to know about, and yet it's what gets him the exact info he needs to make everyone turn on Superman. I'd like a little more explanation on Engineer's abilities. Earlier, Lex said he put nanites in her blood so she could form anything she could think of. So is it the nanites that are becoming these things? How do they get out of the blood? Is there an unlimited supply? How many of the 3 laws of thermodynamics have they studied?
Hopefully there's something on here we can use to convince the generals Superman requires immediate action.
Well, boy, oh boy, do I have good news for you. The script has conveniently placed just such a thing here for you.
Superman.
Roll credits?
It's an awfully small distraction.
Stealing the lines of my college girlfriend.
It'll get bigger.
Stealing the lines of my college self. Doing 90 feet of property damage instead of stopping at the 5 feet you actually needed. Saving someone from under the monster's feet, only to transport them to the very top of the building nearest to said monster, instead of maybe here, or here.
The Justice Gang has arrived on the scene.
The Justice Gang has arrived on the scene. Also, at least the news position makes sense on TVs inside an actual newsroom, but the idea that any of these TVs would have the volume up is just a ridiculous recipe for chaos. Cool shot, bro, but why the hell is this little girl just standing here nonchalantly with her back to the Kaiju melee? Just want to point out that Superman saved this one squirrel instead of making sure anyone in those cars that the giant tail just sideswiped were okay. And I also want to point out that I'm weirdly okay with this. Sending all your extras to do some day training at the Prometheus School of Running Away from Things.
Just another day in the life of the Justice Gang.
Not our name. It's just a working name.
This running joke about the Justice Gang branding is nowhere near as funny as James Gunn or this movie thinks it is.
28 of the world's top linguists have confirmed the translation, and 30 of the top forensic computer techs.
Just to be clear, Lex recovered the footage, flew back from fucking Antarctica, and got 20 of the world's top linguists and 30 of the top forensic computer techs to confirm its validity in a day? And we know the timeline since Lex confirmed he had set up the distraction for Soups the night before. Not to mention he then got a news program to get him on the air and interview him without having time to confirm all this data themselves. Honestly, that last part is sadly probably accurate. Also, how were computer techs able to declare this validity so fast? This is Kryptonian tech. Did the Kryptonians just happen to be using JavaScript as well?
Any chance they're mistaken?
Unfortunately, no.
You have the footage?
Movie has a chance to make a point about deepfakes and the difficulty in knowing what's real and what's not, but decides to ignore that in favor of completely obliterating Superman's parents' film canonical good intentions.
The people there are simple and profoundly confused, weak of mind and spirit and body.
No lies detected. Throwing anything at a superpowered individual you now believe has been brought to Earth to enslave you.
I know this computer forensics guys. They're not going to say it's legit unless they are sure.
Thinking there's any group of humans who might not be susceptible to lying for sex, greed, sex, blackmail, or sex.
We did it, Lex!
Premature
I wouldn't celebrate until the alien is off the board.
Oh, f*** you, Lex.
Oh, here. Brought you a donut from Doe's Holes.
Scene does not contain Lou Costello asking Bud Abbott which holes, and then Bud repeating Doe's Holes, then Lou saying these holes, to which Bud says, no, that's the almond store next door. These nuts.
Where's the dog?
Trying to handle your children when you run out of new Bluey episodes.
Can't say I'm surprised, Clevis.
Adding your Peacemaker to my Superman hoping it's peanut butter in chocolate and not realizing it's cereal in orange juice.
You are not punk rock.
I like the Stranglefellows and the PODs and the Mighty Crabjoys.
Easter egging your old band, the PODs, without recognizing the youth of the nation might confuse it with another band from back in the day.
I'm coming in on my own accord.
Making it canon that Superman drives a Honda. Superman's hands were still zip-tied when he was pushed into the portal, and now they aren't. I'm not saying Superman couldn't easily break through them, which makes me question why he hadn't already done that. But regardless, there's no shot of him doing it here. So they should still be tied up and therefore sin it I must.
Where are we?
Pocket universe. I replicated the Big Bang with a Luthor Corp mega collider tearing a tiny hole between the two universal fabrics.
Oh.
That's way too much sugar, Lois.
Maybe, but what's more disturbing is that she doesn't even stir it up before taking a sip.
I love you, Jimmy Olsen. I love you.
Love you.
Movie never fully explores this budding love triangle. Maybe someone on the internet has. Oh my.
Just my monkey bots here farming outrage 24/7. trashing you online.
Directors using their creative control to settle their own personal grievances with the internet. But also, why is he going through all the trouble to use automated monkeys to do all of his spamming? Wouldn't just using automated internet bots be way easier and much more cost-effective?
You wouldn't be telling me any of this
If we ever planned on letting you out? No.
I was going to go with if you didn't want to turn Lex Luthor into an over-the-top monologuing James Bond villain, even though he should know better. But sure, you stick with your narrative.
Rex, look who it is.
It looks to me like Lex is giving up the leverage he has over Rex to Superman, which, at the end of the day, kryptonite or not, seems incredibly stupid.
I put nanobot GPS trackers into Superman's bloodstream.
But how? And when? Even why? But mostly how?
You have a flying saucer, but you couldn't get a faster garage door?
Lois would be excellent. Yeah, it's a joke, but for real, that's a huge obstacle to quick response time, Sins.
Let's try another question, shall we, Superman?
Luther, don't do this.
The movie wants to pack in as much evidence that Lex is a terrible human as possible, so it stacks this entire sequence with corruption, murder, torture, blackmail, black holes, and unholy experimentation. And I think we only needed a couple of those to justify his death at the end of the movie. Wait, we don't kill this asshole?
DNA trail leads to that tent.
Cool tech for sure, but you knew that from your computer screen earlier, so you're adding zero new information for yourself while giving all the bad guys a clear indication of where you are heading. And that just seems dumb. Mr. Terrific plays with his balls for all the sometime. Also, movie thinks we won't recognize that this is just Yondu's arrow scene from Guardians dressed up in a different suit, and movie is wrong.
You said you can get to my son, right?
The fact that Luthor doesn't have any kind of surveillance in place on this cube to make sure this doesn't happen is really starting to make me question if he's actually as smart as the movie wants me to think he is.
I get my powers from the yellow sun.
Our sun is actually white. It just appears yellow due to other factors. It's a common misconception, but I'd still like to point out that Superman would be terrible at science, Sins.
This place is filthy with black hole vortexes, and that anti-proton river will tear us apart in seconds.
Oh no, not pocket dimension black hole vortexes and anti-proton rivers. Those are some of the most dangerous things I've definitely heard of before this very second, and I am suitably tense about the possible outcomes. Making something that is not the sun, but just like the sun, with the actual elements of the sun, and everyone survives this. Swimming in the very dangerous anti-proton river that I've definitely heard of before and totally understand what it is and how it works and am suitably tense about. Rex can do this while he's in his flying form, but he can't hold his baby?
He's gonna regret not living for the rest of his life.
Perhaps the biggest twist of this movie is that Eve is actually quite smart. Shallow, but smart. Of course, the movie then untwists her smart twists and has her enter a nearby closet and talk loudly into her phone. So maybe she's not smart. Maybe she didn't take the selfies in front of evidence on purpose. Maybe there's no great twist to Superman and it's just a movie. Movie wants us to believe that she just sent him a bunch of selfies, but doesn't do the work to actually take a bunch of selfies instead of just repeating the same few selfies several times. Also, Jimmy is a journalist, and he misses that one of the very first pictures is of Lex and Gurkos chatting. Do better, Olsen.
Your hot ex is a genius.
Hot?
Face blindness.
There. Superman won't be able to ignore that.
But there are other metahumans that can take care of a lot of these problems. Superman even sat by and watched the Justice Gang take out the dimensional imp earlier. Lex has no way to know this will actually work, but of course it actually works.
Last week, me, Ma, Hector, and them, we took a drive to Bierke's Burritos.
Skip.
Clark, there's something on the box you might want to see.
You better come take a look at this new exposition cliche. Letting your fruity pebbles get that soggy.
Superman! Superman! Superman!
I'll take the soup.
Grab the board, Jimmy.
Carrying the giant billboard with you instead of just taking a photo of it. This movie will continue to imply that a call for evacuation a few minutes ago resulted in this creating 0 casualties. Movie is drunk. Also, this building is falling apart in every section like a bag of fucking rice, so Superman holding up this one portion shouldn't stop the rest of it from falling all around him. I'm not saying Superman shouldn't be given points for effort, but this lady should be dead. I see we've reached the CG punchy fest portion of the festivities. Yay? Superman has super breath that can outpower a black hole but not expel nanites. Got it. Movie thinks that any of us want to see Lex Luthor's old face, and I assure you we do not. I'm not sure how Engineer survives any of the trip up or trip down, but we had to get Superman hovering in space for a second. It's like a rule or something.
Entering the hole.
Penetration narration. Discount Bucky Barnes? Also, the movie wants it to be a shock that Lex created his own Superman, but I've seen enough of these movies to know that it has to end with some same versus same punching, so I knew where we were headed.
Your plans in Baravia won't work.
Oh, really? Why's that?
Because I called in some friends.
And I told him to wait until the invasion has been going on for a bit before showing up for maximum dramatic effect.
I know you won't kill me! You are too delicate and weak, like Superman.
I'm not like Superman.
Yay?
So my envy is a calling because it is what has driven me to annihilating you.
Nicholas fucking Holt. Agent Smithing your Superman and not improving the CGI when it's 26 years later. Also, not making any moral judgments, but I'm pretty sure Superman is murdering people right now. Sudden Quantico's Joanna Barty.
I can help. I don't need your help.
Turning down help because of your fragile ego. The city of Bakerline is in peril. Bakerline, I say.
I'm as human as anyone.
He is not. This scene ramps up the sudden and concurrent news positioning so hard, it's like it's trying to get nominated for the new most obnoxious use of an expositional cliche category at the Oscars next year.
We all owe him an enormous apology. He is, of course, the hero we always thought he was.
I guess I can buy that the media would turn on Lex this quickly, but I'm not buying that they would, in the same swift motion, embrace Superman again. I'm guessing at least some of the news stations would be bringing up the possibility that Superman and Lex are in on all this together.
Get his bald ass to Bell Reed.
He's needed there to do a cameo for a TV show that the boss wants to promote. The movie will not show us how Clark Kent explained being AWOL on one of the most important news days ever. Why does this edition of the Daily Planet say final edition? Are newspapers not a viable source of news anymore? Gasp!
Maybe one day you'll give me a name.
4's a name.
So is Gary.
The fact that the amazing Alan Tudyk ad-libbed this line and is now listed as Gary in the credits is going to pull another sin removal out of me. Damn you, Tudyk!
She likes to go and party on other planets. Planets with red suns.
Oh.
Because of our metabolism, you can't get drunk on a planet with a yellow sun.
Movie thinks we care about why it's possible for Supergirl to be drunk, and I assure you, we do not. Would we have seen the idea that Supergirl was drunk if there was no explanation? Why, yes. Yes, we would. And will. Bring it on, gun!
You get your ass out there and you find that fucking door.
Sir, you are only 83% restored to health. You must rest.
Never tell me the odds.
I am an enchanter. There are some who call me Tim.
And we'll learn what we can.
Live long and prosper.
Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice.
He's in your group, right? The Wesley Crushers?
No, not the Wesley Crushers, the Wesley Crushers.
No.
We're not called that. Circles.
What?
T-spheres.
Okay.
They're three-dimensional. Circles are flat.
Someone once told me time is a flat circle.
I'm Martha.
Why did you say that name?
Things go well, I might be showing her my O face. Oh. You know what I'm talking about.
Crypto, drop him! Crypto, drop him! Drop him!
Puny God.
Maybe one day you'll give me a name.
John Cocktoast.